let's go on to game number 2 here. Take a look at the picks and bans as Eager. Can they do it twice against Cloud9 and knock them down a peg?
What are picks and bans?
The P's and B's,
Oh, the P's and B's. That's what I know.
It's Polar Bear Mikes.
Again, with the ISIS ban right away out of Cloud9, so Laz definitely must be a big part of that. Cloud9 must know Laz enjoys that early game clear and the objective control that ISIS does bring to the table. You're going to see Sylvanas banned out from Team Eager, very, very smart, as Jeff Hindla, one of the strongest supports in the game, and Athena banned out by Cloud9. Dare to carry one player of the game once.
ISIS, Athena, Sylvanas, Neith, and a first pick Geb for Cloud9.
Jeff Hindla.
Yeah. Hey.
Loves that Geb. Works very, very well for what he likes to do. Plays the... We don't see a lot of Ares. We don't see a lot of warriors coming out from Jeff Hindla unless the meta forces him to. He likes the traditional mindset of, I fight for my friends.
Man, if Eager 2-0's Cloud9, NA is like so tight.
If Eager 2-0's Cloud9, I want to see how many angry...
Will you eat your hat?
Well, I don't know. Well, which hat, maybe. But if Team Eager 2-0's Cloud9, I want to see just how many angry season ticket holders.
Well, that would put Eager at 5-5, right?
Right.
And that would put Cloud9 at 8-2. And then AFK could tie them this week if they win. And Denial TSM, could move up or down around Eager. So it's it definitely could shake things up in North America if they find this victory. Same said for Legion of Carrots, right? If Legion of Carrots 2-0's TSM, things get very wonky as well. But let's go back to game number 2 of 2 here with Eager up 1-0. They've taken Xbalanque, Ymir early on here and given up a pretty similar kind of core to what we saw last time, except for in place of the Bass, it'll be a Thor this time around for Andy.
Yeah, a little bit more traditional for Andy. Bastet, Bastet is interesting because when you think straight assassination, you think those circuits, etc. Bastet sort of finds herself in between. She doesn't have much control outside of a great slow.
Bastet's a snowball god.
Exactly.
She's 100% scaling on all of her abilities, items. She does very well with. If she gets ahead, it's very hard to deal with it. One cat scratch will give her 600 damage when we have 900 health.
Yeah, very much.
Simply put there. And, but it's Anditzer for Thor here. And, this is a player along with their scrim partner in Gars on the side of TSM now that really catapulted this god into the first pick, first ban position for almost 2 years in North America.
And it just works so well with what Annister does. A lot of how does Cloud9 do what Cloud9 does is answered by Annister sets up X. X changes on the game. Either most of the time it's MLC Stealth or Barracuda, but sometimes it's Omega. You just see Andy land, Andy stun, MLC kill. That's a standard for this Cloud9 lineup.
Bacchus.
And Thor allows him to do so well. Bacchus, the Burst Mage Guardian, picked up for Team Eager.
Are they setting up for an Awelish here?
Might be. It's not going to happen, Bart, but I want to see Bacchus jungle.
No. Ymir jungle.
Of course.
A lot more likely.
Yeah, we're going to see the Ymir.
I think the Ymir's going to the solo lane for Tolly.
That's what we've seen a lot of success out of.
No, Barracuda, stop it. With the Cupid.
Cupid Barracuda?
Second time he's played it that we've seen.
Well,
they barely won the last game that he drafted it in.
Well, in the beginning of Season 2, before the meta sort of matured and players sort of got online how to adjust to the purple buff, it was pick Xbalanque and Cupid or you're dumb. And Cupid counteracts Xbalanque's Rising Jaguar with the ult. So this is very much a very, very young... What
Heart
the meta
bomb
looked
Rex
like...
as well.
Exactly. This is what it looked like when the meta was very young. Xbalanque wants to use Rising Jaguar to get out of trouble. Well, Cupid's ultimate is a huge cripple. So that's going to hurt Xbalanque in the lane itself. Like I said, this was the go-to counter for when it was Xbalanque or bust. So,
last time they played this, Barracuda lost the lane. Xbalanque had like 3 kills, and they somehow managed to win the game. And as I recall, in the post-game interview, Barracuda was like, no idea how we won. So hopefully it goes a little bit better for him this time around. As, hey, Anatol is going to be playing the Chronos again. Is it the Purple Pot Ethereal Staff start that was so heavily contested last time? No. This time around, facing, they saw that it was going to be that Bellona matchup, not that kind of Bastet weird matchup they had last time, and it's going to be the more standard start.
Yeah, so standard start. The reasoning was there this time around. No reason to break what works. And on that Chronos solo lane, we'll see a standard mage start coming out from him. Mages have routinely been not allowed in this solo lane, but we've seen a little bit of a shift, Bart, where the blue buff just isn't invaded.
Yeah, it's been less and less popular to invade it. I think that the Ymir Bellona can do some serious invading, though. Or the Ymir does a good job of preventing the invade fairly well. And the Bellona Thor, though, is extremely powerful as an invade squad. And you can see Bellona hasn't really committed yet to farming, but no, they will indeed. In fact, you're right, there will be no invade coming out, so I'll introduce the teams. As we've passed the 0-second mark, the minions have spawned at 10, and it's Cloud9 this time in the blue team, bottom side of the minimap, left side of your Spectre. UI, Omega, once again, Bellona solo, Andy in the jungle as Thor, MLC Stealth once again as mid lane Janus, Jeff Henla and Barracuda dual laning as Geb and Cupid. Their opponents are Eager. They're the red team, top side of the minimap, and the right side of the Spectator UI. Anatoly will be your solo lane, Chronos, Dare to Care in the jungle as Ymir. Lastest mid laning is Poseidon, and that's Polar Bear Mike, plus Zapman as the dual lane, Bacchus Xbalanque.
Bacchus Xbalanque is a lot of fun. Very, very basic. What might be tough to see, but it's a very, very basic combination. Bacchus's ultimate forces you to move. You cannot stop.
Right.
Xbalanque's ultimate stuns you if you move. So very, very standard as well. I'm going to force you to move, and if you keep moving, I'm going to stun you. Guess who's stunned? But already Barracuda very, very low, 40%, and Zapman on the wrong side of the enemy Guardian just able to dish out those bolas.
And Jeff Henla hit like 6 or 7 in-hands there with Geb and actually got Zapman down to about... Took him down to, a couple hundred HP there, so nicely done by him. Actually makes that a little bit more even a trade than it could have been. Cloud9, they'll push forward. Their wave is going to actually get shoved into the tower here, it looks like, as the wave equilibrium is really, really goofy right now in this duo.
Cupid is very fun in this current situation where we see Heartseeker come online, and then you have to force out the Aussie because you have no lifesteal. Cupid is able to heal himself with that share to love that we just see those hearts pop out.
Yeah, true. Ability-based heal
Yep.
Certainly helps Heartseeker. Similar to why Neath works is what makes Cupid work. It just seems to work a little bit better for Neath. Dare has great positioning here. Does he have the blink, though? He does not. The wall is okay from Barracuda. He will hit the stun, but dash should be available. Knock up, they're not going to have the burst damage to kill him. Even with Poseidon being pulled over, Last is a little bit late on that rotation. Nothing cooking. And Stir, not level 5 yet, so they won't see the counter initiation, but MLC Stealth will make it back to lane Mas Rapido and be able to get the back camp before forced to go back to the mid lane and clear.
Man, Cloud9 Team Eager taking us on a trip down memory lane. The first game was reminiscent of Season 1. The second game, we're here in Week 5 of the SPL. Cloud9 Team Eager, treating this like it's Week 1.
Yeah, week 5 of 7, we should note as well. The season coming to a close here in the next few weeks.
Any interesting stuff planned for week either what's after, as far as personally or professionally going on vacation?
For me, in between, no, just going and doing what I always do in the summer, attending trade shows and talking to people. MLC Stealth in a lot of trouble in the mid lane. Well, more than a lot, it's Death. And it's First Blood to Eager. Nice job. Nice standard rotation there. Kraken, Ymir cutting off the escape path with the wall, kind of forcing him to get hit by it. And it's lucky he didn't go down there as well, but it does mean that Cloud9 is most likely conceding both of these mid camps.
Very routine First Blood coming out from Team Eager, just very standard. Well, you got caught out by the Kraken. Unfortunately for Cloud9, we talked a little bit earlier about how Cloud9 got all of their kills around the right time. They knew when to go in. Well, Team Eager knows the same damn thing, Barton. They got that First Blood 15 seconds before the first mid-camp spawn, which allows them to get left and right, no problem.
Let's take a look at the graphs real quick here, guys, and see what Eager built for themselves. 700 gold off of that First Blood and 2 mid-camps. Besides that, the game basically dead even.
Experience dipped, but then was made a little bit more even as people shared some of the back camps, I believe. Barracuda back in the long lane alongside his support, Jeff Henla, and just 2v2 in this long lane.
Barracuda firing off heart bombs and little heart arrows, as Cupid does. Zapman not having that same kind of early game start they did in the last game. Maybe fortunately for Cloud9, no kills through 4 minutes for Cloud9 at all, but also none for Zapman. The first kill, of course, credited to Lasses.
I want to see how it's very interesting how this game has been played in 2 different ways. Chronos and Bellona almost not mentioned at all when Game 1's broadcast almost revolved around them up until this point, this 4-minute point. So Chronos very much a late game god. I don't expect to really talk about him unless he's dying too much. And Bellona still, we'll see if Omega tweaks his build this time around, expecting a longer game.
Well, it's just the disarm, it doesn't really do as much as it does against the Loki.
Sure.
Chronos relies pretty heavily on spells to clear the wave, especially Kraken's going to be used in the mid lane here. In some trouble once again in the mid lane is Cloud9, and Jeff Henla falls.
Great plays. I mean, personally, the Poseidon pick, I haven't really seen Laz's really use those Krakens as efficiently as he has been. It's only been 2, but it's been 2 kills. And right now, Andy in a little bit of trouble. Laz's one more time picks up the kill. That is the 3rd kill for Team Eager, and that is the 2nd kill specifically for the mid laner.
Yeah, a little bit of the dream going on here. A couple kills for Poseidon, 1 kill for Ymir. Snowball City.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want to be looking at if you're Team Eager, and yeah, they are looking very, very strong. Again, you know, I got some curious looks, even from you, man, when I'm talking about Team Eager outperforming their win-loss record. Maybe it's time for those looks to start going away. Team Eager really coming together in this week 5.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they're outperforming the win-loss record, but they certainly have the potential to, one would think.
That's more what I mean.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit more accurate to what you were saying. And yeah, I mean, but I think it's the whole true, right? They've had a lot of roster changes, and you know, well, they've had really one position in particular being swapped in and out of a couple times. So, yeah, they seem to have get together, but it's still probably too little too late here. I mean, they have a very, very tough road to land, and they don't really control their own destiny.
Sure, too little too late.
I mean, if they want to skin against Cloud9, hey, it's all, yeah, you're right. Split 3 is what really matters. It's the land here. It's Split 2 that it's maybe out of reach, but you know, they really want to still be in that top 4 position, so they don't have to like re-relegate going into Split 3.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm a player, Bart, it's nice to win. It's nice to come to land and see Atlanta. I would love to go. Florida's not that far. They can make that trip whenever they want. Yeah. I'm looking at Worlds.
Yeah, that's right. Also at Atlanta for what it's worth, but. Okay, 3 kills to nothing in favor of Team Eager. 6 minutes, 20 seconds into this one, guys. The advantage is about 1,200 gold. Nothing too big for them, but a nice, enjoyable lead for Eager. They're up 1 game to nothing as well in this 2-game set, so hey, they find themselves in a great position. Stop the presses and Kile for Bellona.
Interesting pickup. I'll talk a little bit about it in a second. Andy getting hit by the Kraken. Will that one be secured into a kill? Not quite. So, the first Kraken to not secure a kill. The Akale picked up. We have yet to see this item picked up in pro play.
It's been some time, yeah.
It offers, the last person I could think buying it was...
I think Omega has bought it before.
Maybe Omega. I distinctly remember a Chalk Mid purchasing this item.
Chalk Mid? Well, that would have been... Twiggy, right? Yeah,
yep. Yeah. Captain Twig, many, many moons ago, picking it up. But this time, it's going to be Omega in the solo lane on Bellona. Very, very interesting pickup. As we said, not really a prevalent item. So why don't we mouse over it and talk a little bit about it. It offers magical protection as well as cooldown reduction that stacks up. So when you're a physical going up against a mage, this is pretty much exactly what you want. It gives you power, magical protection, and the CDR looks really low. But as you stack up getting last hits, you get physical power and CDR all the way up to very, very high numbers.
Yeah, you end up getting like 50 power out of this item and a reasonable amount of cooldown reduction as well. Big issue is the amount of time it takes to stack up in addition to the price. But when you're going up against a Chronos that is 9.9 times out of 10 building a Warlock Sash or E-Staff, right? That's a pretty long build-up in and of itself. So you have time to get the Nkile online. Plus, not only kill potential from the Chronos onto a Bellona early on in the game. So not a bad pickup from Omega. And the cooldown reduction he'll be very nice to have, certainly.
And also, just for the reviewers at home, yes, that is how you pronounce it.
Ankile?
Yes, Ankile. I remember, even myself, I was like, Ansile?
Ansile, the Ansile, yeah.
You know who, of all people, it was Drybear, of course.
Of course, it's Drybear. It was either going to be Drybear or Cret.
Right? Exactly. Excuse me, it's Ankile?
Ooh! It's like a Wheelish.
Is it really a Wheelish?
It is a Wheelish.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Do we have any other tricky things like that in Smite?
Habois?
Habois, yes, very much so.
Cupid?
Stop. Barracuda getting the best out of that one, though he does use the ultimate against that man right there. Prevented the aggression from Zapman. Again, we saw a lot of the kills last time.
Hey, that's a Kraken. That's a dead baby. Barracuda had no idea that gank was coming. He's like, where are my wards?
Yeah, he's got zero vision in his left-hand jungle, and Eager's going to take even more advantage of it. That is a fully channeled Ymir ult doing virtually nothing.
Yeah, Stone Shield was like, no thanks. That's all right. 500 damage, that's what I do.
Yep,
Polar Bear Mike, he's in some trouble here. Unstable Vortex on the mark. MLC Stealth finds that one through the Intoxicate. And look at him, once again, just waiting. Whoa, yeah. He realizes he was in traffic and goes right on through his MLC Stealth there. But now they have to fight through Eager to get back to their base, but a sloppy engagement, unfortunately, from Eager there. They'll give back a few kills. First 2 kills, in fact, for Cloud9, and a Gold Fury as well. You want to say it, or should I say it?
Stuff after
The stuff after the stuff.
Always got to look for those objectives after the kills right there. Most notably, what I'm looking at there isn't a...
Oh, no.
Zap-man.
Steve in some trouble. Andy? No, doesn't matter. It's the whiplash.
How many times have you heard one more?
One more wave? Yeah, that was definitely one more wave.
That was one more wave. And right there, unfortunately, it was not the Anatoly, but the Chronos.
One more death.
That couldn't really make it happen. Anatoly makes that rotation with a Loki. No problem at all. That is a kill for sure. Anatoly makes that rotation with a Chronos at 9 minutes. Unfortunately, just not enough online. He's got boots and tier 2 warlocks.
Yeah, Chronos isn't going to make the difference.
Yeah.
Maybe that one extra stun can do it, but it's a small window that you have to make a huge impact. Can we take a look at the graphs, please? As Cloud9 has taken this one back, basically back to dead even here. Small gold advantage, but not really so important. The 382 experience.
The pincer
is
nothing. A little bit of trouble. Stunned out. Kraken used defensively, but MLC Stealth will take him down. Dare to Care going to walk away. 1v3, not for me.
So yeah, now with that kill back on the side of Eager, it's pretty much completely dead even now. But Cloud9 weathered the storm of a good open from Eager.
A great open from Eager.
Yeah, they draw it even at 4-4, 11 minutes into this one, guys. Golden experience, pretty much even. It is game 2 of 2 in this 2-game set between Cloud9 and Eager. We do have another set coming your way after this one from North America. It'll be Scott Gandhi and Hindeman on the call for TSM versus DJ Pernicus and the Legion of Carrots. But back to Eager versus Cloud9.
Rewind used there a little bit defensively. Rewind is one of those ultimates that I always feel if you don't use it on cooldown, you're not really getting what you want out of it, as opposed to like needing to use it in the right situation, which is probably why I'm here. But Omega getting a little bit pincered right now. He moved
aggressive. Back forward?
Yep, he gets frozen out and he gets stomped down. Does he have a jump? Not quite.
Nope, he doesn't. Bludgeon, not technically a jump, does not avoid that Ymir. Ultimately still takes all the damage there. And well, this is why a lot of players are very concerned about Ymir. 1800 HP, putting out about 1,000 damage with his abilities with no damage items.
And that frostbite.
Yes.
That's what caused that kill. To be fair, I think he was like low enough to
here we go.
Kill. Hold that thought. Andy up,
Isn't
Andy
enough
down.
damage though with just the Thor and Geb spin to win. Knock up as well. One in hand, of course it is. And it's he's rarely wrong. Double tap. Didn't port forward as he got stunned out by the Chronos. One unstable vortex, and Cloud9 answers back with 2 kills of their own.
Great response.
Even though Omega got baited, they still find a couple of kills.
Great response.
Maybe the bait was his all along.
I mean, well, we talk a lot about Omega being hyper-aggressive and this bully-type player. Well, it works out, but sometimes it does bite you in the behind, and Cloud9 has to be used to that. You know, he gets baited out by being a little bit too aggressive, and the finger on the trigger right there for MLC Stealth, able to transport the entire team, and Andy getting the stun. Good response.
Can we take a look at wards placed, please?
We'll see how the vision has been lining up for these two teams. Team Eager versus Cloud9 right now. Cloud9 responded pretty well to what was a good start by Team Eager, up 2,000 gold, and the wards placed have been definitely an interesting situation because on the left-hand side, I still don't see much.
Yeah, I feel like Cloud9's been a little bit lacking on their warding this game.
Oh, just a hair less damage than Barracuda probably expected on that Zapman ultimate.
Dare to Care? Well, he's forced to kind of just freeze out there and throw at a wall to attempt to save himself. But every time Eager seems to find something this game, they had about 8 minutes of pressure, and then it's been answered back kind of twice over by by Cloud9. They pulled ahead by a couple thousand gold now, a little under 2,000 gold, in fact, as that Gold Fury still really factoring pretty heavily to this game.
Omega does get the blue buff, little pester by Anatoly on this Chronos. Still has not yet finished that Warlock Sash. Wants to finish that one up so he can start building those stacks. Probably just a little bit more gold, and it looks like we do have a teleport built by Anatoly on that Chronos.
Yeah, kind of strange, I guess. I mean, again, before the items are on... Is that a demonic grip that he's building now?
Yes.
What? Am I crazy? Wasn't he building into the Warlock Sash at some point?
The items do look similar, honestly.
Yeah, maybe. I guess I just assumed that early ring was in fact the start of a Warlock Sash or an E-Staff. It was not. It's actually this demonic grip plus boots. Okay, so now it all starts to make a little bit more sense. The teleport makes some more sense. The demonic grip does have a nice bit of power spike, especially going with the Poseidon against objectives like the Gold Fury. So And it also allows Chronos to take towers a little bit faster with all that bonus attack speed. So all things told, that itemization now all clicking for me.
Normally we do see a little bit of power built before the demonic grip.
But
But
he has
again,
power boots.
right, penetration is definitely a huge stat for a character like Chronos, who wants to deal damage with both in-hands and damage abilities. Can we take a look at that item, actually, real quick?
The demonic grip?
The demonic grip. Let's take a look at it. It is the demonic grip. 60 additional power. So that's going to be a huge deal for this Chronos. And now we're going to really start seeing the beginning of what to expect from Chronos. Early game is very much spell-based. As you said, you're going to throw out to clear the wave and then use your time rift. Now with the demonic grip finish, you're going to see those basic attacks mean more and more. So expect to see aggressive accelerates rather than defensive accelerates from this Chronos.
Yeah, the main difference between Chronos and say, a Hunter, 60 power for a Hunter is 60 more damage per in-hand.
Right.
60 power in Chronos is some very complicated math. And with the penetration, plus the bonus power, plus his accelerate in the right quadrant, it yields about 60 bonus power. I mean, it kind of ends up washing out, but the way Chronos gets there is very convoluted and bizarre. And what I'm getting at here is that magical protection is less effective against a single point of magical power than a single point of physical protection against a single point of physical power, because magical power is about 30% cheaper and more available than physical power. So all things told, Chronos can do a tremendous amount of damage is what we're getting at here with items.
Fury.
And yeah, Gold Fury taken uncontested for Cloud9.
Just sneaky. No visions. That man on the backhand side looking for damage. A great portal.
Wow.
Gonna save MLC Stealth.
And how did he get out of there? I guess Whirlpool was off the mark because he didn't use his ultimate, didn't use his beads. He just walked out with the portal, wasn't crippled. So a little bit of a small misplay by Lassus. Must have been on cooldown as you see it used there to clear the minions.
Oh, man. That free Gold Fury is still bothering me.
Well, how did you think that was set up by Cloud9? Like, what do they do?
I mean, it's rough. It just, it seemed like a lull in the gameplay for me, Bart. It had to be a false sense of security. It had to have just lulled Team Eager to not expect it. There's no wards there. I mean, there just wasn't the vision. Team Eager now has the vision on the path to Gold Fury.
Should we try it again?
The vision? Like the line?
Take a look at wards placed.
We'll see how it goes. Aggression onto the Chronos.
Oh, so close.
Rewind just in time, but here comes Bellona, not going to chase it underneath the tower. Bacchus is here, 2v2.
Yeah, now
3v3.
Now a 3v3. Can we get a 4v4? Yeah, Anisir, he's frozen out. He's kept shielded right away, though. Nothing really cooking. Bacchus forced a belly flop out of that one as well. But now it's there to move forward. No wall there to keep Omega in.
There was a wall that might have been a different situation.
Yeah, could have maybe forced that Eagles rally.
But now, Cloud9 aggressing on the blue buff. We've got a teleport over here onto Team Eager's tower. That was communicated beautifully. Now Cloud9 a little bit scared. And Anatoly here gets a good time rift through the wall, but Omega tanky with that Onkile.
Onkile doing quite a bit. Oh, hey, it's gonna be. Is that the uncommon sash now that's being purchased? Now I'm forever scarred by what this item is going to be.
Maybe if it's even a Telcon's.
No way he's building a Telcon's ring. Also,
absolutely not.
That's got to be the E staff or the Warlocks. For the love of God.
For the love of
hey
Fields, we've got a little bit of damage on to Zapman, and one more time, not able to kill it.
Oh, wow, the big port.
But a great portal. Still, Zapman getting out free.
Yeah, the big boy port from MLC trying to make the big play. Doesn't clip him with the ultimate there that would have been required for Unstable Vortex to get the kill. Trying to backdoor now. Well, not backdoor. Minions are there. Cloud9 takes tier 1 tower on the left side. No response from Eager just yet. Zapman a bit too low, forced out there. They were kind of forced to collapse on him and look to save their Hunter. Unable to put up a good defense.
Ooh, I thought the tower was going to go to Chronos, but as per usual, Bellona, Omega building that teleport to tower is able to snap back into the short lane at a moment's notice, and that sends Chronos packing into the jungle. He's just kind of hanging out. Well, right now we ride along with MLC Stealth. Beautiful wall by Dare to Care, and, well, everything thrown at the mid laner. Lazarus gets credit for him with the Kraken, and that's going to be the 4th kill for Eager's mid lane.
Yeah, very even back and forth here in terms of kills and momentum, but Cloud9, they're ahead quite a bit in gold. The war of attrition going their way. Gold Furies are obviously both to their credit as well.
Typical Zapman. He's got 40% HP. Cupid was about 80. Doesn't care. Looking for the kill. Pushing forward. A lot of healing on the side of Barracuda. Zapman still does not care. Very aggressive.
Zapman doesn't care. That's a common theme for this team. in the Pro League, and we'll all play.
Well, he doesn't care, but does he dare?
Does he dare to? Look how tanky Bellona is going to be against this magical damage core. It's something very unconventional from Ymir. In fact, we didn't really do I don't think enough credit to this lineup here. The 3 magical damage dealers.
Yep.
Well, 4 including Bacchus. Xbalanque, the only physical core on this team, and Omega's going to be damn near unkillable now with this itemization. Heartward first item out of Geb as well, plus the Bulwark and the Ankile. He's very resilient. He's very, very resilient to 4 of the 5 members of Ymir.
Yeah, this Chronos, he's certainly not going to be looking to kill this Bellona anytime soon. It's rather interesting. Chronos is probably going to be looking towards the Thor, most notably. A lot of damage coming out onto Barracuda. The dash is down, folks!
Xbalanque ultimate, nicely placed. Geb shield was there over the wall. Knock-up, saving him for the moment. Zapman, in a rare moment of clarity, elects to leave instead of chase that kill.
Very, very smart. And again, Jeff the EMT Hinla, always showing up in the nick of time, just blinking over that wall. And instead of doing a knockup right away, throws the shield out. Great stuff.
He knows what he's doing.
Does he?
He does. If there's one thing Jeff Hinla knows how to do, it's support his teammates, specifically Barracuda.
Yeah, I mean, as we said coming into it in the picks and ban phase, we see a lot of these aggressive supports coming out. Really supports that either lower health threshold so their hunters can get kills easier, or preemptive peel rather than the traditional stuff. Jeff Hinla very much in the opposite direction. Wants to play triage for his team, wants to get stuns. Very much the defensive player.
But yeah, I'm once again going back to the build from Omega here, the Ankile first item, the foresight to realize that he can really destabilize the entire Ymir lineup by doing what Bellona does best. We see her often at 5 items be able to be the impossibly tanky frontliner. Now with just 4 items, he can really do that for the squad. And it means that this lane matchup versus Chronos is pretty much over. 2-level advantage, massive magical protection, cooldown reduction, good power. He can really bully very, very effectively. And if they both are porting into a fight, you got to be way more excited about your Bellona, very, very tanky frontline Bellona coming in and on the rotation with a stun versus a Chronos who has bridge items.
Right. And don't expect as this game goes, don't be surprised, Barracuda, again, the subject of Team Ymir's desire. Feels a love, a little bit off the mark, but used slightly defensively. Don't be surprised as this game goes on to see a second penetration, to see a shard built onto the Chronos as well. Ymir forcing out this gold.
They'll start it up. Here comes Cloud9. He gets a 3-man taunt, does Jeff Hinla. I'm sorry, Cataclysm does Jeff Hinla. Crashing in his Janus, who hasn't really had a huge impact on this game, misses that ultimate as well. And he finds himself isolated, forced to try to stun out to get out of that one.
Beautiful.
Kraken hits MLC's stealth, but he's okay for the moment. He finds a great position on the backside, and they have the pincher now out onto Ymir. Going to force Polar Bear Mike to his tier 1, slowed down by the Geb rollout over the top. Roma Invicta, Omega finds that kill. Rising Jaguar takes Zapman back to safety. 3 members underneath the tower now for Ymir. Anatoly's here. He's going to try to run down MLC stealth, but one quick portal away, and that's it for Chronos. Turns out Space wins the victory over time.
MVP portals out there coming from MLC Stealth. 50% on the Gold Fury. Here comes Anatoly. He's level 18.
Yeah, actually a little surprised to see Barracuda not trying to fight him there, right? Like, if he gets time, if he gets time stopped, you just get Geb shielded and just fight him anyway.
Yeah.
With the level advantage plus the itemization, but Chronos does put up some decent damage, and Barracuda more likely than not wants to be able to go back in lane and not, take some aggressive trade against Chronos. Now it's Ymir looking to make the play, but Cloud9 not going to be duped into this one. They have the ward vision there. They know that it's being started up. Barracuda moving forward. He'll put the heart bomb onto Zapman, but he's going to get stone shielded to get out of this one. Ymir ultimate will fire off. Zapman heart bomb actually hits 2 there, sending them out. MLC stealth hits actually Anatoly with everything there. Max damage, unstable vortex. Walled out now is Toly. He's going to stun it. Omega, but just how tanky can Omega be? Very, very is the answer to that question. That's a good initiation on the backside from Annister, but no follow-up. Just a moment off the mark to find anything out of that. Very low is Ymir. Push certainly very far away from the line of scrimmage, if you will. Gold Fury still available and likely to go to Cloud9 now, considering how low Ymir is. They've won this skirmish, and they should get the objective on the back of it.
Yeah, very forceful plays coming out from Team Ymir, sort of taking what they, I don't want to say don't deserve, but what they haven't yet earned. Just sort of looking towards the Gold Fury, forcing these fights, and Cloud9, more gold in hand with the Gold Fury. That's going to bring them up to 56,000 gold. Team Ymir just about 50,000. So trailing by 6K is Ymir, and interesting choices coming out on those Gold Fury attempts.
7,400 experience as well that they're down as Cloud9 is up 1 kill, 8-7 here. 24 minutes, 30 seconds into game number 2 of 2. Barracuda level 20 versus Zatman's level 18 Xbalanque. And, well, as I mentioned, last time the Cupid was actually quite a bit behind, but this time with the advantage. But still really hasn't seemed to have that much impact. To be perfectly honest with you, Apollo probably would be better in this situation for me. He doesn't do as well in the lane phase, certainly against Xbalanque, but, you know, it wasn't like Barracuda's Cupid was dominant against Xbalanque, and
Sure.
if you're going to just get farm and trade farm, I'd rather have the Apollo personally, as he played it so well in earlier games. Game 1 of this set, not so great, but the last week, he had a very, very good showing on this Apollo.
Blinking Cataclysm not going to quite do what Cloud9 wanted it to do, so that's going to be down for the next fight. Team Eager definitely knows that. 5 lit up gems on the right side of your screen for Team Eager. They're going to look for an initiation somewhere. One more time, the Dream Wall. Ultimate from Ymir not going to be enough to take out Barracuda, but now Team Eager is split up. Polar Bear Mike all by his lone, so I'm going to jump underneath the tower.
That means that the damage dealers are unprotected at the moment. Dare to Care, the only one with any kind of crowd control, but doesn't matter. Lassus just puts down a perfect Kraken and kills Barracuda.
Krakens from Lassus have been completely on point. Omega finds his way into the back line. We said it before, incredibly unkillable. Still with tons of HP and a Geb shield on top of it. MLC Stealth will go down to the hand of the god of time. Anatoly looking clean right now, and Omega not quite unkillable. Anatoly finds that heal and calls it Achilles.
Yeah, Cloud9 bites off more than they can chew. They wanted to kind of continue to aggress there and force the issue, but unfortunately give quite a bit back to Eager there. They won't lose too much in terms of gold. They'll lose a bit of experience. Zatman.
Beautiful.
Mjolnir's achievement was used, and he has good positioning here, but he has to fight the whole wave. He gets the slow. Anistar wisely will beads that away, as that slow could have been the difference between life and death there. Zatman, no more mana to pursue that one, and Sprint is not online.
Small plays. Small plays. Mjolnir attunement thrown out. Rising Jaguar to avoid it.
Oh, wow. Here's not a small play. A big play attempted, at least, from Team Eager. They're going to look for the Fire Giant here. Jeff Hinlow, the only one in position. Anistar is backing, in fact.
That's beautiful.
It's free. Yeah, they take this. Eager gets the Fire Giant. Great map understanding, great map knowledge. In they go.
Full credit to Dare to Care understanding, and Laz is here a little bit. Laz might be able to do a little bit more damage than he's letting on, but Dare to Care. Look, Ymir's not going to do a lot to this Fire Giant. You can throw it on the ice carpet, and really that's about it. Your basic attacks aren't exactly going to be like Xbalanque, so you're just a zoner. Find that guy and play goalie.
Now, we can't really credit it exactly to this, but you know, one thing it's worth noting, Eager does all 4 of the 5 members play from the same house that their coach lives in, right? So it's not unlikely that I would say that the Eager coach is kind of watching the players play and could have said, hey, you can take Fire Giant there. Obviously, it's not possible for us to know if that's exactly what happened, but you know, we see other teams make that call, certainly without their coach being there, but maybe lending itself a little bit to Eager looking so good today. It's really only the second or third week they're competing with all members of the team, you know, that are eligible to be in the house. So.
Yeah, I mean, I do know that a lot of times, all that thought coming down mid lane.
Beads and Stone Shield used there on the Janus. You know, a little bit of inefficiency.
Big call. Knockup is not going to be good enough. It'll keep Team Eager here just long enough to wait for the next wave. Kret very much during the games allows the players to, or I shouldn't say allow, there's a lot of trust on this team, Bart. These guys have been playing together for a long time, even the newer guys. There's just a lot of trust involved, so a lot of times, you know, does Kret make the build mid-game? No, he trusts his players to know what they're doing, so I would imagine the same be with the big picture strategy as well.
Oh, Lassus dead. Ton of ability burst damage there. Omega over the top with the whip as well to get it. Jeff Hinlow.
Nice. Another Cataclysm avoided.
That was mind games.
Yep. Another Cataclysm avoided by Team Eager. That's 2 in a row now.
Yeah. And well, it's been kind of the difference. The last couple of fights, Eager has had the edge over Cloud9. Cataclysm has been off the mark.
These teams look very even in these 2 contests today. 9 to 10 are the kills. The gold, still a little bit of separation, but we saw it in game 1. Cloud9 takes, Team Eager takes back. It's been back and forth. A little bit of tug of war here, although the graphs are still in the blue side. Team Eager has been yanking it back.
Eager's got to be kicking themselves about some of the early games they had this split. I mean, playing this well now towards the end of it. I mean, there was definitely some very winnable games that they had earlier on.
Sure. And I think that goes to what you were saying before, how these guys are newer. Not just in their environment, but a lot of roster swaps, a lot of position swaps. So I think you hit the nail on the head right there earlier, where it's about consistency.
Well, Gold Fury started up here by Cloud9. Barracuda It's only, you know, he's only half-hearted on this one, right? I mean, he's willing to give this one up right away if any aggression comes in. There you see it.
Half-hearted.
Oh, yeah, indeed. But yeah, I mean, it's not. They're not fully committing to it, right? And that's right. Really the important thing to take away from this one.
They're trying to find a fight.
Yeah, they want to fight here, but he's perfectly happy to continue leashing up. And if he gets it down to 55-60% and no one from Eager's around, they'll go ahead and commit to it. But as of right now, hey, they'll poke away at the Gold Fury. Eager kind of having to fight through this choke to really get anything done. Omega, he's going to take the fight to the front line. It looks like the Gold Fury call has been made, and it will be secured easily here by Cloud9, in fact. Bacchus not going to make it in time, and down it goes. Ymir ultimate used as well. Eager about 2 seconds off the mark there with all of their abilities. Fight continuing. Omega going in. Kraken just off the mark. Omega still alive. Jeff Hinla moving forward. Fields of Love going to allow him to get positioning. That time, the Cataclysm hits, and a 3-man Anvil of Dawn, but no additional follow-up. Annister gets the dream, but nothing cooking.
Yeah, just not enough people on behind. MLC Stealth changes that. Takes out Lasses with a single unstable vortex. That was a huge chunk of HP. And this build for MLC Stealth looking very, very cute.
Yeah.
Double stacking with the Book of Thoth. Now, one of the biggest things, if you're at home saying, why did he build a stacking item 30 minutes in? Book of Thoth's damage is very much
well, it's based on your mana pool, right?
42 stacks. Never
so
mind.
well, it's based on his mana pool. So each stack gives you additional mana and power, and then the mana gets converted to power. So at level 20, you have a very high base mana pool that the item instantly converts into bonus power. Ends up being the highest single power contributing item that you can get as a magical damage dealer.
Yep.
And of course, the #1 steroidal item for magical damage dealers that isn't the Rod of Tahuti. It is of course the Obsidian Shard. And he has that now as well. So, even more damage from MLC.
So much burst coming out of it. I misread that. I thought
holy moly, look at that.
There it is.
Zatman still winning player damage overall, 23k.
Xbalanque with those basics. So much damage in is Omega. Looking at Tully. Disarmed. He'll walk away.
You see him accelerate, you hit him with the disarm, and that's a lot of the damage potential from Chronos gone.
Yep.
And yeah, it'll be interesting to see, can Eager take this one another 8-10 minutes, get 5-6 items on that Chronos, and can he get anything done versus the disarm of Bellona in the late game?
Fire Giant didn't really amount to much.
You got to think that the late game belongs to Eager with Xbalanque and Chronos. But you're right. Curiously enough, Fire Giant did nothing. Did they get a single tower off of it? I don't think they even got a tower.
They got
tier 1 right?
They got the mid tower.
Mid tower.
That's it.
Yeah, mid tower.
They got chase off of the second tier.
Yeah, I mean a tier 1 is not what you're looking for with a Fire Giant at 28 minutes.
What it did do, I guess it took it off the map to prevent Cloud9 from taking it.
I suppose.
But that's a very defensive way to think about things right here when Team Eager down by about 7k now. They're just able to really spread it out. Walled out is Bellona from Dare to Care. Playing a little bit safe. Jeff Hinla and Andy pushing up very much so.
Well, either way, they certainly didn't get what they wanted out of it.
Exactly.
And Fire Giant now back up, and Cloud9, swarming around there, and it looks like it'll be the same story that we saw with the Gold Fury. They'll chip away at it. Will Barracuda? Oh no, he's going to commit the ultimate here, and they're going to zone out Dare to Care. They've gotten him in an awkward position. Now it's Omega who's going to split himself off of the team. He's fighting 4 now, as it's just Anatoly zoning out the rest of Cloud9, and a little bit of an awkward engagement. Here comes MLC Stealth. Cataclysm hits Dare to Care, but they haven't been able to secure the kill yet onto the Ymir. 3-man freeze. Heart Bomb is there. Omega isolated yet again. Andenster, he's isolated too. He's out. And now it's MLC Stealth looking for the kill on Polar Bear Mike. He won't find it. Will we see the ultimate thrown from Janus? No, already used. Back to the Fire Giant, and it's very similar to what we saw with the Gold Fury earlier on, where too low. Eager is just a bit too low now to really contest. MLC Stealth, one unstable Vortex will make it quite hard. Zatman, this could be a good bit of damage, but nope, Stealth will go ahead and zip through the collision. And Cloud9 will get the Fire Giant, but Annister will go down to Lassus. Barracuda picks up Dare to Care as he was moving and trying to disrupt. That Eagles Rally used again by Bellona, but not going to find anybody, and they can't fight through that choke with the 2 big in-handers, but their frontliners certainly can. Jeff Hinla and Omega will break through the lines, but Hinla give away too much HP there. Back over the top comes Polar Bear Mike. Omega wants to get the kill on the Zatman. Aussie proc there, not enough. It looks like it just ran out, and Omega will get the kill. Very, very valuable and worth. And it slowly goes down to Barracuda, who's now moving forward again. Can Omega stay alive long enough for the Hunter to make its way in? Looks like he will be able to. A couple shots on the Lassus. Lassus combat blink to get out of that, it looks like. 180-second cooldown used to save his life. Omega somehow surviving percentage HP regen.
Barracuda
from the Fire Giant. Barracuda, 4 kills, 3 kills in that fight. 3 kills in that fight.
Beautiful shot. Loved the heart bomb coming out from the young Hunter on Cloud9, and that is a good play. Of course, you don't want to wipe the board like Team Eager did, but here's why it's a good play, Bart. They take out Fire Giant off of 3 members, taking it off of very important members. Your mid laner, your jungler, and, all right, so your support, maybe not the largest, but You lose 4 members in that team fight, but it was so long that you're not just going to be without a team. You've got Dare to Care up now. Tully's up in 10 seconds. Zapman's up in 5. So they spread out the fight for so long that these players are going to be relevant again. So they lost a lot of players. They lost the team fight, but more importantly, they wiped Fire Giant off of a lot of the people that matter.
But they don't get the Fire Giant buff off of the most important target of Barracuda. Right, all the physical power that buff does add, and the percentage regen is difficult to deal with, to say the least.
Especially
on
when
the
sieging the towers will be a different story, though. A lot of times you see all these players.
I'm thinking most importantly, it's less about the in-hand damage and a little bit more about the Heart Bomb damage. Heart Bomb, the highest scaling ability.
Oh yeah.
In the game. So for a physical damage dealer. So it hits exceptionally hard, and with all that bonus power from the Fire Giant buff, it'll hit very, very hard. 600-700 damage coming to that. But as you can see, Cupid, he's critting for 900 with the Fire Giant buff at the moment, and that's enough.
Everybody 6 slotted.
Yeah.
Every single person on Cloud9. Couple of active abilities left unpurchased. And Watcher's Gift still online for our support, Jeff Hinlow. But for the large part, the damage dealers are 6 slotted. They are very, very dangerous right now. And Omega playing his usual role of spacing the opponent away from the objective in the tower. Damage coming out. Ultimate gone from Barracuda. And with that, they'll bark down the Phoenix.
Yeah, Fields of Love used a little bit awkwardly there. Maybe have preferred to see it underneath the Phoenix and buy them a little bit of space. Eager able to disengage away from it there. Barracuda unable to find any shots on the Phoenix. We'll get a few pot shots in here. Dare to Care is going to throw out that freeze, but no real follow-up there. And he's going to take quite a bit of damage from the Cupid. One more shot to do it, and indeed he will go down. And well, it's the Barracuda game right now. And it's well, he'll take to this guy. He really hadn't had that much impact. He got that one 3-man Anvil of Dawn, but not much besides that. Barracuda erased by the Rada Tahuti Poseidon and his Kraken, but not before he finds 2 kills of his own. Dare to Care and Polar Bear Mike on the sidelines for 45 more seconds. Stealth, doing stealth things.
He's been so crafty with these portals, these max cooldown portals, excuse me.
Ends up making a little bit of room too, and they get that Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's been doing. He's been very, very crafty. I think when he took out Lasses from about 40% HP with the 1 unstable Vortex, that was his one show of power dominance. The rest of it has been very, look how long I can travel with a portal. Hey, there's a portal here. Are you going to fight me with it? He's been very, very crafty, very, very tricky, and he's been the god of trickery here this time around. Now, are you going to tell? So is Janus the god of fire?
Janus is not the god of fire. Pythagorum's piece selected by Chronos. Great itemization here with 4 magical damage dealers.
Yep.
Magical power aura and magical lifesteal aura.
And so the fact that it gives him personal lifesteal is really what it's about. Is the actual bonus as to the aura, rather than have somebody else on the team pick it up. And I'll tell you why. 33% is the horrible coefficient that is given to magical lifesteal. So that Bancroft's Laz's is getting only 33% of that magical lifesteal that the Bancroft offers. Whereas Chronos, when he activates his basic attacks, he does not get that. And the reason is you get 33% because of AoE attacks. They can hit more than one person. So it'd be really unfair to give you a bazillion damages of lifesteal. So when you target a single person with basic attacks, i.e. what Chronos does, that is a much different situation. He'll get all of that lifesteal. So point being, mages hit a lot of people, so it's unfair to give them lifesteal. Chronos hits a single person, so he gets full benefit of that lifesteal from both the Bancrofts and the Pythagorums. Look to him to really stay in these engagements now that he's a little bit tanky with the Warlock, or tanky with the E-Staff, and able to lifesteal with those 2 items.
He'll have that Rada Tahuti finish sooner rather than later, it looks like here as well. And they're looking to body block Dare to Care. Not going to get it. Heart Bomb, they're going to freeze him out, take that Magi's. Anatoly going to try the follow-up. But yeah, again, it's Rada Tahuti complete on Anatoly is really one of Eager's last real opportunities to get themselves back into this game. Cloud9 firmly in control with a 15,000 gold lead, and the far side Phoenix down. Fire Giant becomes very, very easy for them to pick up. In fact, you can see Barracuda soloing it right now on your minimap as the rest of the team is zoning out Team Eager. But no, Barracuda is going to try to join the fight here as I guess the call was made. But minions are streaming into the base as well as those fire minions on the left side. MLC Stealth gets caught out of position and taken down quickly. Xbalanque for Zapman. He's got a good angle onto Omega, unable to secure the kill. Bulwarker Hope is popped.
Huge!
Eager should be able to make this happen for themselves now. Kraken just off the mark, unfortunately, from Lasses. Can he chase down Omega? Doesn't look like it. Titan has taken about 10% of his HP now as damage. Andenster off the mark, but will clear up Zapman. Nicely played there. And the fight starting to go back in favor of Cloud9. Worth noting, Omega's holding on to 2 red pots here for some reason.
Lasses gets credit for that last one. Barracuda looking at Dare to Care, and the Mjolnir's Attunement not able to smack him down, but the basic will, it's just a matter of time. Scratch that. They'll be using the spin to win. Looks like Cloud9 doesn't even need the fire giant. Jeff Hinla just parading down. Taking a look at the amount of time it's going to take Team Eager to get back. That's a minute for Dare to Care. Just under a minute for Lazarus. 40 seconds, 35 for Zapman. This one could be Cloud9 if they are swift enough to get to the base.
Well, they're knocking on the door here. A couple of long respawns. Everybody over 30 seconds. Zapman, the shortest at now 27. Into the Titan they go. Yes, Cloud9 will be able to secure this one. No way that the Bacchus alone will have enough to stop it. It'll be games split between Cloud9 and Eager, one apiece.
Yep.
And but this one was very, very close up until the later stages and ends up going and being one of the longer games we'll have this season at 39 minutes, 48 seconds.
Honestly, loved the performance out of both of these teams. Even the losers wound up performing very, very well. If there was any game I could come back to after taking a week off, it would be that one. Great set from both Cloud9 and Eager.
Yeah, the that Kraken at the very end of the game that missed the Bellona by just a hair ends up maybe being the make or break point for this game. Really, really close.
Yeah, Team Eager, they were off. It's funny. The first game, Cloud9 off to a great start. They go ahead and turn things around. Team Eager plays very, very well, winds up winning it in the late game. This time around, Eager gets the first blood. They start this one off with a bang, and unfortunately things turn around. But here it is, the first Kraken. The first 3 Krakens were 100% on point.
Tons of kills
for this team. So
loads
very,
of
very good stuff. But again, so
but hey, it's still a win for Eager today.
Of course,
taking a game off Cloud9 is a big deal for a team that was in the tied for 5th place position.
Yeah, the team that was undefeated is no longer undefeated by one of these middle of the pack teams. So very, very cool stuff coming out from Eager. We'll see how they did on the map control right here as we bring it up on your screen. 47.
That's one thing that I'm noticing about these Eager games is that they're always very, very close in terms of map control. And that maybe belies a little bit of the experience of the team. When we see the teams below them on the North American ladder, Legion of Carrots, Cognitive Gaming, and Enemy, they're looking at 60-70% control from the winning team. Whereas Eager in both games, right around 50%.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said the experience. There's a lot of veteranship on this team, most notably Laz's, Zapman, and Anatoly. Not only just together, but just as players themselves have been playing for a long, long time. Kret, the coach, been playing for a long, long, long time. Dare to Care as well, also very, very tenured. And we have a member of...
yeah, we do. The big story there from that map control chart, though, was the 5-goal Fury control from Cloud9.
Very true.
But we do have an interview on the line, and I do believe it is Lassus from Team Eager as our Curse Force interviews today. Drew, are you there?
Not quite.
Lassus not quite there. That's okay. We'll have a Curse Voice interview without him. You can pretend to be Drew.
All right. I am nowhere near... I mean, they're not small, but...
Player of the game, guys. It's Omega. Let's take a look at his highlight reel as his Bellona was very, very tanky and very, very destabilizing to Eager's plans this time around in Game 2.
Yeah, destabilizing, great. I'd go with disruption. Either way, we're just picking different words out of the source. The goal is, well, I don't necessarily have to kill you. I just have to annoy you, and that's exactly what Omega did. He got a number of kills, but more often than not, he just found his way into the back line, found his way pushing people around. Omega, great stuff.
Yeah, he's done it for them, hasn't he? One game won, but now the Curse Source interview should feature Lassus. Are you there, Drew?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
There he is. Hey, how are you, buddy?
Good, thank you.
So congratulations in taking a game off of the undefeated Cloud9. I'm sure, not necessarily the day you guys were looking for, but still one victory. What do you think the differences were between Game 1 and Game 2 for you guys?
Oh, I'm not going to lie to you. Game 1, I did not expect to win. Game 2, I expected to win. So... both opposite ends of the spectrum there, but we just really picked up on our teamwork. Our synergy picked up a lot with our new recent addition of Polar Bear Mike. This guy is very hungry.
Yeah, that's definitely where we want to take the next thing. Is like, tell us about Mike, man.
Well, as you guys know, Aurora recently departed the team, and things just didn't work out, unfortunately. And my first thing I ever mentioned was, guys, there's this guy I play with. You all know Polar Bear Mike. They go, yeah. I said, that's the guy I want to try out right now. So I messaged him that night. He said yes. We tried him out, and immediately just got great results, great attitude, and already just meshing well with the team and playing with us for less than a week and just noticing great results.
Yeah, it's not often that you'll see a new player added to a squad and pick something like a Bacchus and not just feed uncontrollably with it. Right? I mean,
Absolutely.
He hasn't really played in the pro league. He hasn't really been part of the squad, and you pick kind of that off meta pick, and it does very well, in fact.
Absolutely.
So, hey, what's up, Drew? It's Tom. Talk to me a little bit about how fantastic Tolly played. A lot of times that hasn't really been the narrative for you guys. Is that a team? Is that a team process? Just an individual Tolly process? I'm very excited to see Tolly back, but how did it happen?
Well, Tolly is always a work in progress. He's no stranger to that, of course, and I've never lacked the confidence in Tolly's play. I think mechanically he's absolutely incredible.
Agreed.
His decision making comes from his overthinking, unfortunately, and that's where he tends to make those mistakes, where I feel like he tries to put too much weight on his shoulders and he thinks he has to do something instead of just going with the pace of the game and just waiting for the plays to happen as a team. You know. So. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just saying, well, we want to let you go. We're going to give you one final question here before we do. And this is going to be about Dare to Care and about specifically Athena being played by Dare to Care. So back when you were jungling for this squad, it was lots of Athena for you, and then Dare to Care takes over that role. He also seems really like Athena. Was that, he was on that team as in the support role when you were playing it? Was that something like, this fits into what we want to do, so you need to learn how to do it? Is he also an Athena fan? Like, how did this happen? Did you just hand off the jungle role and we're like, you got to play Athena, buddy?
Well, actually, it's funny you mentioned that. Once he first came on the team, Dare was all just heavy. I'm sorry. Once he swapped to jungle, he was all very heavy assassination.
Right, Hunbots like across the board is what I recall.
Oh yeah, exactly. And so we're like, man, we need some versatility. And I said I used to play Athena jungle. He goes, I could play Athena jungle. I'm like, are you sure? He goes, yeah. We played it one scrim. He did very well. And now Dare just has an immense god pool, just a wonderful player. And off the record, his attitude is also one that has improved very much with the team as well, and how we've been hopefully becoming a success.
That's very awesome. Cool. That's it's funny because that's kind of what we were saying. It's like, well, they're probably going to draft Athena for the jungle because Dare to Care, for whatever reason, loves to play it as much as Lassus. Last, before we let you go, obviously we can find you on Twitter at EGRLassus, on Twitch at /Lassus. But any call-outs or shout-outs before you go?
Just, I guess, the shout-outs, of course, to our fans, the guys who have been with us since even when we go 0-30. The guys are just loyal. My team, of course, AFK for just being wonderful scrim partners. And, we watched the game, obviously, because, this game was a little bit of a rebroadcast. And shout-outs to you guys. We really appreciate the great casting in this game. And, thank you guys, and hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you, too, Lassus. You can find more information about those guys over at egrworld.com. That does do it for set number 2 today, guys. We're moving on to set number 3, where it's Legion of Carrots versus TSM. In just a few moments, it's going to be Scott Gandhi and Hinderman on the call for that one. That does it for me and Tom at the desk today. And we'll be back again tomorrow after this next set, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to watch the Smite Masters from Sao Paulo, as AFK Gaming will take on the best in Latin America and Brazil. But thank you for joining us for set 2. We'll be back with set 3 in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Bye-bye.